What's up? Welcome to Scale Journey. We are episode 9.
Episode 9.
Wanted to start off with obviously the topic social media and relationships, and also a little disclaimer because I know being that we're on this YouTube platform, there are a lot of people that don't know us, being that we came from our personal platform. We've been together for 15 years. We're going on 15 years this year. On July, we will be 14 years married in, and everything that we speak on is based off experience, based off obviously our opinion, and a little bit of therapy and a lot of communication, and a lot of adulting, because there are a lot of adults that are extremely immature. So it takes a certain amount of maturity to get to where you need to get to.
Oh man! Basically, what she's saying is that you lazy, under self-developed people.
I'm sorry.
You'll probably find this hard.
Did I have to press the button?
Oh God! Yes, man. Wasn't on.
This is bloopers and all, y'all. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like I said, so what she's saying is that the people that are underdeveloped and lazy, you probably find some of the stuff that we talk about to be difficult to implement, because it won't just come to you. So you'll have to work at it, and if you're not going to work on it, then
just stay single, stay celibate, and just leave people alone.
I ain't gonna tell you all that. Do whatever you want with your life. I'm just gonna tell you, it's not gonna be.
Just don't hurt people. Leave people alone. Anyways.
Do what you feel.
Let's get to it. I have my notes.
You got your notes?
I have my notes.
Okay.
And I have the topic. It's hot, and it's definitely an issue.
Okay.
Social, and it was an issue in our lives. Social media is something that can cause issues in relationship. We have, people that are jealous, and that's the number one thing, I want to speak on what, social media does in bringing out people's jealousy. As far as, you don't post me enough, or why did you post yourself, looking that way? Or, you're in the gym, you're trying to get women, or whatever the case may be. What do you think about that, babe?
These are all issues that I'm going to throw my own disclaimer. This is all issues. If it's coming from you as a man, this is just betaism. You're insecure. You need to work on yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it may be generational too, because I'm a older millennial. So a lot of this stuff doesn't relate to me because I don't really care. But
your brain is wired differently.
Yeah, I don't care about none of that stuff. So if that's what you're on, there's money to be made. There's deals to be done. There's business to focus on your children. If you don't have children, there's your family you should be focusing on, bettering their situation. So this topic, while very, very relatable, very relevant in today's society, it's hard for me because I don't relate to any of it. Because I just don't see the reason behind you having those emotions. And maybe it's more from women, or at least that's what I thought. But then as you start to look into it, it's jealous men.
There's jealous men out there. Yeah. There's men that want to have control in what their women wear and what they post.
For sure.
So it's out there. I feel like it's not a social media issue. I feel like if your significant other is going to thirst trap or going to put themselves out there, that's just who they are. Social media just made it easy for them to want to.
I mean, maybe they're not thirst trapping. What if that man or woman is admiring their own body, the work they put in to get to
I
that?
Agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I agree. You know, I post pictures of my body. My body has been through a lot. When we first got together, I was on the heavier side. I had was just, this was what 2010, was just getting out of like a depression and being in a very toxic relationship. And so within 3-4 months, I think it was 3, I lost 40 pounds. I was busting my ass at the gym. I got off work. I worked at Walmart. I was working at Walmart for 3 years. I got off work at midnight, and right after midnight, we would go to the gym. And you helped me through it as well, because coming from like having blessed with a body, I didn't really felt ever like I needed to go to the gym or I needed to work on my body. But once you hit a certain age, and I think I was 21 when we first met, my body was doing its own thing. And obviously,
and that comes from the depression, the diet.
Yeah.
You at 21, not in those states of mind and all of that, wouldn't have looked the same, because naturally your body would have done what it had been doing up till you were probably like 30. Yeah,
because I was outside in my teenage years. I was always outside. I was dancing. I was going to all the clubs. I was enjoying my life. So I was always moving my body, and I guess obviously had a better mindset and felt better about myself. And so my body has always been something I was extremely proud of, because I'm one of those girls that go to the gym, eat the diets that I need to eat in order to look my best in how I feel. And so most will probably think, oh, she's conceited or she's trying to thirst trap or however, because I choose the type of picture that I want to post. And you've never had an issue with that.
I don't.
And I never had an issue. And that's not your...
I don't care nothing about that.
From the very beginning, your platform has always... It was never really recreational.
It's never been recreational.
It was always surrounded by...
I'll post a picture because I know how people are. They want to see you as a real person. Yeah. Right? But it's never like... Because... years back, way back, when Instagram and stuff first started, it was the promotional stuff. So it was I've never been
it was always super... It was when you were promoting, concerts, when you did your hookahs.
Yeah, the hookah business. Yep.
It was always just that.
I've always been about business, man. I don't really... Because I understood social media. From the very beginning, I understood social media was a whole bunch of people in a place for free. Versus before social media, we had to go take flyers, because I did promotion when I was in college. I built up a group. We had a group called Detox, and that group was like, we did a lot of club promotions in Houston or whatever, and it got really, really big. But we didn't really have social media. We had Facebook and stuff, but it was just starting. So really, it was just flyers, word of mouth. So I understood the work that it took to build something with no social media. So then I was like, oh crap, there's just all these people I can access all these people at one time.
Networking.
Yeah, so.
You make the platform what you want it to be.
Yeah, it's never been that for me, but I don't know. I never really had a problem with that type of stuff. I've never been a jealous guy, because I just always figured, like, here's the thing: if that person gonna do whatever they're gonna do what they're gonna do. But I'm gonna do what I can do too. That's how I've always been. So if you get, you know what I'm saying? I've never had a problem with women. So if that's how you gonna rock, I can rock that way too. And I'll double mine up. Whatever you could do, I could do 2 times better. That's how I always felt it about. No, I'm saying that's how my mind was.
I know.
That's how so I've never been a jealous person because I knew I could go get another woman. It's not a problem. That's not an issue.
And that's why I always say, like, you met your match, because in my mindset, cool. Girls will be crying. Like, I'm like, yeah, I love this dude, but I'm not going to sit here and give my whole life. Like, I've done it, been there, done that. I have my heart broken, got depressed, like, and then I got to a point where I'm like, there's so many men out there. Why am I going to sit here and cry about somebody? And I always felt like if someone is for you, they'll always be for you.
100%.
So yeah, I wanted to shift the conversation to comparison.
Okay.
There's, everyone always trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Mm-hmm.
And, this person, they go on dates all the time, or, they go on vacations, and, I feel like social media is like, if you don't know the person, you really don't know the person. You don't really know what's going on, because there's a lot of finessing.
Whatever you get, let me say this. What you think you see, the majority of what you think you see that's not factual. The majority of what you see is just rented cars, fake jewelry. The vacations obviously are real or whatever like that, but they're on credit cards. Like the allure of what people see on social media isn't the majority. Like 95% of it is fake. It's just a ploy. It's just a facade that you see, right? It's not. There are very few people that are on social media that are really living that way. Now there are some, but it's about 5% of them that's like really, really got the money, live that type of lifestyle. But those that have the money, what you'll also notice is they live a different lifestyle. They do different things. They have different habits. They read a whole bunch. Then you don't really see them out. They post very rarely.
Yeah.
There's just things that you see from successful people, or that trying to be like the Jones, that person you're aspiring to be, they're probably not even at the place you think they are.
Right.
And I know that so I just be like, I congratulate people. There's no hate. So if I see you and you're appearing to do your thing, I'll be like, hey man, keep doing your thing.
Well, you know what's crazy? I've experienced people, finally meeting me, and then realizing you really are what you put out on social media. And it's like, yeah, I don't hide behind social media. First and foremost, we come from a generation where we didn't have social media. So
for the majority, well, no. So it's okay. So it's been 20 years with social media.
That's so short.
No, but I mean,
in my opinion, that's crazy. But yeah.
But I'm not 40 yet, so it's been more years with social media than without. But if you're talking about growing up, all of my high school years, everything, there was no social media because Facebook came out in 2004, but it was for colleges. MySpace was 2005, but it hadn't really hit like that when I was coming up out of school. So it wasn't.
And then it was weird because it was a platform that you go in there, you change your background,
music, top
all 8, that type stuff. But we weren't glued to it.
Nah.
I don't know. I've never met I never met anybody, but I never met a guy through there.
That's you.
I met guys through AOL.
You
chat rooms.
Oh man, you way old. That's like 50 years old. In high school back in the 90s. I never. Now junior high, we'd be on a little chat room or whatever like that. But junior high, we was active though, man. It was active. He was in the streets. We was active.
Man.
He was active.
Good
and I think that's a piece of this whole thing that we're talking about too, is the generation you're speaking on, that this is all they've known is the digital lifestyle. They never were active. They haven't been in the streets. Their whole life has been lived through social media.
Yeah.
Like,
so don't you think like it's awkward for them to have?
I've never seen them just talk to women or just talk to a guy. You got to DM him.
Yeah.
You got to text him. I'm like, the person's right there. Why don't you just go talk to the person?
And you know, I'm an empath, and like I need to, you know, I can't feel you.
You want to feel the vibe.
Yeah, like I can't. No, that it doesn't feel right.
But that's why they're so worried about, well, he didn't post me. Like, and if you go to a certain age of like millennial, I believe them. And now there's some of us that do, but I believe like my age and up, we just don't care.
You know, there was a point.
You got to post me. You got to do that. Like,
where,
come on.
There was a point where, you know, because you're very private.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't know that or don't understand why you're private.
Well, a lot of people are stupid too.
True. And I had to learn to be that way. I used to share a lot of things.
There's a reason for that. It's because I understood very young human nature. Mm-hmm. A lot of people aren't outside. You're not active. When I say outside, I mean you're not active in the streets. Right. Street life and like hood life teaches you certain things very, very young. Mm-hmm. You learn people's mannerisms. You learn humans. You learn people will take advantage of you. You learn I said this and then homie went back and took that and doubled back and did it, right? So you learn all these different various situations at a young age. And so you learn things that you don't know is like teaching you human nature, but it is. So I learned young, like, yo, keep that shit to yourself. Like whatever when you do dirt, because I seen people snitch on people, I seen a whole bunch of rights. So it's like, yo, everything is to yourself. What you present is what you want people to see. And that's all they get to see. And if you keep it that way, they'll never know nothing about you. And you can keep it that way and your life will be cool. I've known that for years, like massive amount of years. I always knew. And then of course, on top of that, I had,
baby mama. Counting your coins. Oh, he's at McDonald's. I'm sorry.
See, a lot of dudes snitch on themselves, man. They be out here, And I'm not saying that's wrong or right. If you're a deadbeat, that's a different story. But it's like, there's women out here that like watch your stories. Mm-hmm. They watch what y'all do. Mm-hmm. You go cop that jewelry, brand new kicks, you do the whip, right? And like,
that's what
she's sitting there and she's like calculating and she takes that information into the child support. So like, I always knew, man. I don't know. God blessed me to have a brain that was more advanced and mature. So I kind of, I'm like, oh, okay, I can't put that.
See, for me,
you're like, why are you trying to hide? And I'm like, nah.
Well, I never understood that because, and it's really because people were in my ear. They're like, oh, your man doesn't post pictures. Or they'll be like, when you take pictures, not knowing this, when you take pictures, you will never smile, not knowing he don't like pictures.
I don't. And then she met my mom. My mom is like, he's never liked pictures. Mm-hmm. He doesn't like pictures.
He don't like pictures.
And then she's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, I told you that. I don't like pictures.
But you do get excited when someone shares, like your cousin will share a picture of you when you were a kid.
Yeah, as a child, as a little child and stuff like that. But like, when I came into my own as a person, right? As a child, you're learning who you want to be. Yeah. Right. And you have most of us have different personalities when we're children and when we become adults. Some of us don't. That's why y'all are where y'all are, because you're the same way. You've been playing you a child now and you use a child in. But anyway, most of us have those experiences in life and stuff have shaped us to be different people. Mm-hmm. So once I like came into me and knowing who I was, I'm not a happy, smiley. That ain't me.
Yeah, because, okay, I've had people make it seem like we act single when we're on social media because we're not constantly posting each other
and I would say
and pouring our hearts to each
and I would
other.
say you guys have aspirations of being single because the need to constantly post the other person is a form of insecurity.
Absolutely.
I'm fully secure in my relationship. I don't worry about, I don't go on her page. I got to make myself go look at her stories. Like
just to support
support.
Same.
Not like, I'm not
No,
looking
what do
through her
you think
stuff
about
to,
people like,
it's weird.
people putting John and Kate on their social media?
We did that.
For like a second.
Yeah. At the very beginning.
But it's because of territorial and insecurities. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But that's what that is. Like, each of you are your own person. I'm my own person. Mm-hmm. I'm not her person. I'm my own person. She's not my person. Yeah. We're each other's person, if that makes sense. But she don't own me and I don't own her. And I've never tried to own her. And she never tried to own me. I'm my own person. I'm Jeremiah. I got my own things I like. I like completely different stuff. And she like complete. But we come together. I like her for what she like and she like me for what I like. Because that's what makes it. People like, that's confusing. No, it's not confusing. Why are you trying to like smother that person? Like, they ain't got to like what you like.
I think people that know us know how crazy we are about each other. We just don't show that in a surface level way.
Necessary? Why is that necessary? Because that makes them feel, those people feel more comfortable.
Do you not realize that, we were fortunate enough to get to know each other. We've lived a long, certain amount of time without having a kid. Mm-hmm. We had our dogs who are our babies, but we learned each other. We talked, we communicate with no distractions. Like, I don't think people realize that, understand why our relationship is the way it is, because it truly is solid.
Yeah, but they you gotta understand people's, like, the fallacy is in the person. Each individual person is flawed. All of us are. Mm-hmm. The issue is the other person, and in relationships nowadays, the other person is constantly pointing the finger at the other person.
Right.
Right? So you don't take accountability and say, oh, I'm screwed up. I mean, they screwed up too, but I'm screwed up. I gotta work on me. And so the problem is it's two messed up people, two messed up individuals pointing the finger at the other person for accountability that should be 50-50.
Like, we grew to a point where when we had our discussions, we'll come to the table like, but you have to work on this. And then, this is what I'm going to work on. And this is what you're going to work on. Yes. Because this is going to help us.
It can't be a one-sided thing, right, where you're like, well, you just need to. And what do you need to work on?
Right.
Like, and that's all I see. Or I see posting each other every second or however, whatever. Like, I mean, that's cool. If that's how you rocking, then that's cool. But that ain't how I'm rocking, man. I think, and I mean, overly, I'm gonna be 100. I think that shit's corny. That shit whack. It's goofy. I mean, but that's me. I'm an old school, like, yeah. I'm an old school type of dude. I wasn't raised that way to do all that. But I mean, whatever.
Or our birthdays. Obviously, you don't post anything for our anniversary, and you don't.
Because that ain't nobody's business. That ain't nobody's business.
What do you do for my birthdays? What do you do for our anniversary?
We make sure we take care of that. Mm-hmm. But that ain't their business. Why do you got to know that? Like, who are you to demand that you find what I'm doing? Well, you could share. I ain't got to share nothing. You could mind your own business. Mind the business that pays you, and that don't pay you because you broke.
And you're really good with words, by the way. So when he does give me my card, or he does write me.
I have a poetic side.
It comes out really good. I think because you're a lyricist.
I'm good with music. Yeah, I'm good with music. Like, I could be a hell of a music writer. I'm good with music. So that,
Well, I always say when we get our big house or bigger house,
gotta get a studio.
We gotta get a studio.
Yeah. I don't know. Listen, that's my opinion. Because you're like, well, Why you gotta condemn what I'm doing? I'm not. I'm just if
I'm the lovey-dovey. I gotta show the whole world. I gotta tell the whole world.
But she's
That's
learned.
how I am.
But what's happened with that? With those situations?
I learned. I think I'm about to say this, but like my spiritual gifts told me pause. You don't have to, show everybody what you're doing. Let everybody know what you're doing, how you feeling, or whatever the case may be. They don't need to know. Why? Because there's jealousy, there's envy, there's people that literally wish ill on your family. 100%. If they can't get to you, they will get to your family.
100%.
And so I had to tame. I don't share my daughter on social media. Nope. And it is extremely important because of those reasons that I mentioned. And I think it's just weird. If you're not in my daughter's day-to-day life, why am I going to post pictures of my daughter? I'm not saying you can do what you want. That's your life. That's is your kid, whatever. But me, people look at me like, oh, she don't even post her kid. Like I do, but it's for the private story for people that actually care about
Can I ask a question?
Our family.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why are they worried about what you post?
I don't know.
Most of the people that's doing that, y'all broke. Y'all ain't got no money, man. And they're like, oh, he's all every time he talking, yeah, man, because go get a bag. Don't worry about.
I don't know.
Don't worry about something else, man. Why are you worried about?
People are so opinionated.
What people posting and all, man. Go get a bag.
Especially when it comes to a marriage that's been solid from the very beginning.
Why are you worried about it?
I want to know why. Actually, I don't care why.
What you worried about? And see, for me, she'll tell me, I'm like, I don't care. Like, F them. Really? I don't like, because stuff is so menial to me. It's so low level. It's so low vibrational. Like, I'll just look at you like you're a kid. Like, that type of stuff is childish to me. You're like, oh, I'll pat you on the head. Oh, that's so cute. Go run along, child. Go play over there. That's childish stuff.
Yeah.
There's issues. There's stuff we should be working on as a community and stuff. Like, there's stuff you should be more focused on than why she's not posting. Did you see what I ain't never. Well, I wouldn't. Who cares? I don't care what you post. I don't care what you look like. You be posting your face. I don't want to see your face.
And to be honest with you, remember when I told you, babe, I don't want to post pictures of my body because I don't want no one that it feels insecure about their body.
And what did I tell you?
Post your body.
He ain't here to make you feel comfortable. The hell? That's not our existence.
About other people's feelings. I don't. Well, I know they don't. They're insecure and they're not happy with their bodies. So
I give 0 F's about your opinion or how you feel. That's a personal problem. I was built to be great. I'm God body. I was built to be Adonis. I'm 6'8". Yes, I was built to look good in a suit. You don't look good in a suit because you're fat and out of shape. That's your fault. That's not my fault. It ain't her fault that she has curves and she looks the way she looks and you know what I mean? And she fits. That's not her fault. You want those curves? You want that? Bro, go to the gym and put in the work. Nobody's going to be here to coddle you and make you feel better by dimming our light. Mm-hmm. That's not going to happen. So I don't believe in now that, well, you need to be humble. No, you need to be humble. You don't tell me what I need to do. I'm going to be me. Well, I don't believe in that humble stuff.
I'm called
I used to.
Because I'm light-skinned.
That's hate.
And you already know, supposedly light-skinned girls get the attention and everything like that.
They do. I mean, but that's a systematic thing that she didn't create. I didn't create it. Willie Lynch created that, right? Like slavery, mentality created all of that. We didn't create that, man.
My mom's brown, by the way.
She light and I'm chocolate. So what? Well, it's like, people just be worried about the wrong things.
The wrong thing.
Like I said, and then if I let those people make those comments or state these things about social media, however, whatever, then I tell them, you'll see me. Y'all probably see me online. I'll post something. If you follow me, I'll post it. And I say, but where your bag at? Where your money at? You over here posting about this person? Y'all be worried about Offset and Cardi. Y'all be worried, but man, I don't give a damn about none of them people. I don't care about none of them. I don't care about nobody. They ain't doing nothing for you. God bless them. Let them figure it out. Whatever they got going on works for them. You need to go and figure out what's going to be best for you and your wife. Strengthen y'all's relationship. Take y'all's trips. if you feel like you need to post those things to make people jealous or for people that don't really care about you, then you go ahead and do that. If that's your right, if you need to do that, we don't need to do that. I go a lot of places, and you'll never know where I go. You just think I'm broken. I'm sitting, and that's cool. I like that. I like people thinking that I'm whatever. I don't care what you think. You're an idiot. Most of you, y'all don't know nothing. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she might care a little bit, so that's fine. But if you come this direction, I'm gonna just look at you like, I don't care.
Obviously the masculine, I'm the feminine. So if you want to be at the level of a masculine, like, come this way.
Yeah. I just don't, I don't see the purpose or the point behind worrying about other people's lives that don't involve you.
Or don't better you.
You're sending negativity, low vibrational energy towards someone that's at an elevated energy. Because
you're looking at them and you're upset at their lives or their looks or their confidence.
You're projecting hate, envy, right? Low vibrational energy toward this picture.
We all have something, not that it's like full insecurities, because I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, I love you, like, yo, you look good.
We all have stuff we'd like to improve on.
I do want to improve on.
We all want to improve on certain things, and that's fine. That is ambition, right? That's the desire to be better. That's a good thing.
Yes.
You don't let it turn into resentment towards yourself
and not do nothing about it.
Right. Like, we all want to be better. That's fine.
I agree.
But we all got things that we're good at as well. So when you have that thing that if you're looking at a post, oh God, I could never. Yeah, but that person probably stupid. They probably don't have much brains, and you're super smart. Right. You got to go with what you got working for you. That's one thing that I've always been on top of. I tell people listen, I ain't the best looking. I'm not the most charismatic. I'm all right, but I ain't the best, right? And I'm cool with that. But one thing, what do I always say? But one thing you ain't gonna diminish is what?
Your money.
No.
What?
Well, yeah, don't play with my money. But I'm saying, what do I say? I know I got one thing.
Brain.
There it is.
Definitely intelligent.
I'm an intelligent
and
person.
And that's honestly, now that right, you're very attractive, babe. Like, hella attractive. That. But what makes you even more like,
thank you,
is your intelligence.
I appreciate that.
Like, that right there.
Because most women don't appreciate intelligence. You want a guy that looks a certain way. It's funny. We were talking about your friend, and your friend is in a certain relationship in a place, right?
Because he's attractive.
Because he's a blue-eyed person.
Yeah.
And people are like, what does that mean? We're brown. In the brown and black community, right? Light-colored eyes is a big thing. It makes that person special. They get all the attention. They get women or they get men. They get, right? So, but the characteristics of that person, right? He has multiple vices, multiple fallacies, not a man, beta, all the way through, but because he's got blue eyes, you stick and you deal with it. And that's the problem with a lot of people. It's the surface. I need to stay because he looks like this.
Yeah.
Because doesn't treat you right.
That image.
Right. When you could probably go get with somebody, I'm not saying, whatever. If that's all you're worried about, then great. But there's a guy out there, not saying these guys to be normal looking. He could just not be with blue eyes. Right? And treat you like a queen, but you won't take that because you want that.
Yeah.
And that comes from a lot, like what we were saying, like.
What's crazy is, not a lot of people know this, but I was married once before, and my ex-husband.
I didn't know that. You were?
Shut up.
Wait, what?
No.
You was married?
He be cracking up too, because once in a blue moon, I'll get something with my old last name, and he was just like, "That's the crack. That's the how you say it.
That's the joke of the day.
The joke of the day." Anyways,
he a cornball too.
He was light skinned.
He a cornball too.
He was light skinned, and
call me a cornball.
I guess that image that every woman,
yeah.
desire. I can't say every because
a lot of women.
A lot of women.
A lot of women.
And let me tell you, this man was abusive. This man, you know, I was in that relationship where I had to pay 50-50 type stuff. Abusive, 50-50, and infidelity issues.
So when y'all be out there on social media and you looking at that light-skinned guy and, you know, oh, look at him. He could... If that sucker spend more time in the mirror than you do, it's a no-go. You need a man.
Yeah.
If you're a woman, you need a man. What is a man? A man provides, a man protects you. You feel safe when you with that man. Well, it's easy for you to say because you 6'8". I'm gonna tell you like this: if I was with my wife and I was 6 foot, I'd be the exact same person because I actually fought more when I was shorter. I ain't been tall all my life, guys. By the way, this happened in high school.
No, he don't care. Like being that I always tell people I'm mixed. I'm from not just the looks. I am,
but actual color.
No, I'm saying partial. No, I'm talking about I lived in Rhode Island.
Okay.
And the suburbs in Florida.
PSL, yeah.
So I'm mixed when it comes to like environment. You know, like I know how to, you know, conduct myself in different situations. However, my mind is still stuck at, did you lock the doors? We got to hide the purse. We got to hide the electronics.
We don't.
And we don't. We are fortunate enough to live in a gated community and
they don't want nothing we got. They don't want nothing we got.
Like if you're not semi-wealthy, you can't live there.
You can't live in that community.
I promise you that.
Well, you just can't exist. You literally can't exist. If you don't make minimally, you probably don't make at least $300,000 a year. You just can't. You just can't. You can't afford stuff there. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying you just can't. Like you.
No,
you
but
literally can't.
My brain is still wired like, hey, you never know.
Yeah.
You know, so best believe I feel very protective, and he don't be caring. We go places. I'm like, babe, make sure, and he's like, girl, bye. He does not care, and yes, I feel extremely protected. Anytime, obviously, I had to learn how to keep my hands off of people because I was so battered and traumatized from men putting their hands on me that there was obviously a point. I don't want to get too deep to it because I don't want to I want to stay on topic. But there was, you know, I would put my hands on you because I'm thinking, oh, at any point he's about to hit me. Like, no. Never. You hear me?
That's
never.
I don't do that.
But for whatever reason,
and that's a punk too.
That's been some people's thoughts. Like even when I'm a crybaby. My moon sign is Pisces, if you know what that means. We go places. I could be so excited, I'll cry. And he'd be like, babe, can you not cry here, please?
Man, because people really be thinking, man,
I don't want no one thinking that.
They'll literally call the cops on you.
Yeah, like something's wrong with you.
Somebody came to her and said, is he abusing you? You could tell us. Okay? And I'm like, what?
Bro.
What are you talking about?
So that's why I mentioned what I mentioned, because of that. Anyways, the last thing I wanted to talk about is distractions. You know, when is a good time to know, like, you know, obviously social media is part of our lives.
What are you using it for? Like I said, so the stuff, if anybody follows me, everything that I'm looking at for the majority, 95% of the time on my phone is business related. Or I'm learning something.
I remember, I don't know what we were talking about, but I was like, no, don't do that. How about you just go read an article? You were going to do something. I think you were going to be petty.
I was going to be petty.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm going to post or bother somebody or message someone. You were going to do something. And I was like, why don't you just read an article? But that's just because I know my person and I know this is what he does.
I'm extremely petty.
So as far as people having distractions, especially when it comes to the time of having quality time.
Yeah.
I know for you, because you run a business and your business is 24/7, 365 plus, what, what are some things that like maybe some goals that, you want to start doing, or are some advice for people that need to spend more time and less time on social media?
Well, here's the thing. The majority of people, if you do run a business, then your significant other needs to understand that and know the guidelines of that business. If you're utilizing it to grow your personal presence or have whatever, they need to understand that. But there needs to be a time where it's, what I'll say is my weekends, still I talk on the phone, but it's not as like strong on posting and stuff, because we'll be going places together, have whatever. And my phone is kind of not in my hand all the time to be doing or however, whatever. If it's 5 minutes, you call me, okay, cool, and I'm moving on. But like my weekends, I try to make it more focused on the family and kind of just, right? But you got to get to that place. So understand your person, where they're at in their business, however, whatever. But the majority of y'all just be using social media for nonsense. You just look at BS. You send people stuff. You're not doing nothing worth nothing. Put that thing down. Set a time that you're going to do it. And then once that time is up, put your phone down. Go do something else. For you, it's go read a book. Go do something constructive. Spend time with your family. Something. Because I know people that literally just sit there.
Scroll.
Your neck might, I don't know how your neck don't hurt. This is all you do. Like.
Now, I have questions.
What you got?
For those, what do you think, how am I going to put this question together? Okay, for the guys that liking other women's posts.
I was one of them.
Or just posts that are like, not
maybe inappropriate for them to like.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody saying you can't. Because maybe that woman is giving a speech. Now, women can't be overboard. Like, you like that girl? Yeah, she was talking about whatever. But yeah.
But if her ass ain't out and
yeah,
she's just being positive.
She's just talking about something, you fall back off that. But liking inappropriate stuff, I don't know, man. I don't know how. I don't know. The question is for you: is that cheating? Does he like your stuff too?
There was times where I was insecure. That's what I'm saying. The problem isn't social media, in my opinion.
It's the people.
It's the person.
Yeah.
It's until you feel completely secure in your relationship, you won't look for stuff like that. Things that won't even come to your mind.
And as a man, you're going to mature just in age. I can look at myself, Jesus, how old am I? 38?
38.
Me at 38, I forget my age, she has to tell me. Me at 38, for me, not even at 28, me at 25. Okay? Two different people.
Agreed.
Two different people. Two different mindsets. Two different ways that I talk to my wife. Two different people. Yeah. Just two completely different people. The 38-year-old will go back and slap the 25-year-old. Shut up. Go read a book. Go do something. Go, right? But two different people. So you mature as a man, or you should be, right? Your understanding grows. The things that interest you change. Now, here's the problem. Some of you were lame growing up. You didn't get no butt. You didn't get no women. I'm keeping it real. You were lame. You didn't ever get no ass. I get it. So now, at a later stage, you've now accrued a little money, maybe some things or however, whatever. And so now you're just exploring that at the wrong time when you should have explored that in the 20s. Right? So I get it, but we got to advance and develop here. The majority of the guys that I know that are at the space where I'm at in their 30s and stuff, they play sports or they grew like they were good in this because this is really a childhood thing. Everything in your life goes to childhood stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't given that attention, you weren't a jock and got, you had girls liking you, not right. So you felt abandoned and, left behind and people didn't like you and isolated. So now when you get the money or you get to a certain place, now you want to, overcompensate and do all this stuff. This is the reason why I talk to you all the time about, I just want to play the background. If you don't like, if I could make $1 billion and there's not one picture of me, I'm completely happy. I don't want the fame because I've already had all that. I've done that before. It don't get you nowhere. I just want to fade off in the background, but it takes time to get to that place to where your mind is on business.
Mm-hmm.
How can I help my family? I know for me and my family, I have also external family, not just my direct family. I have indirect family, your family. I got to care for everybody. Like in my brain, I already know this. I know in my brain, I have to take care of everyone. I understand that.
There's just not one household you take
No,
care of.
I have to take care of everyone's house. I have to take care of everyone's household. I take care of my household. I take care of my son's household. Because my baby mother's never worked a day in her life. This is something factual. People have no idea.
Like if we want one of like my brothers to like do something, but they're like, man, I'm not able to do that.
Well, we take care of that, but that's my responsibility, right?
It's
her
spread
mother,
out everywhere.
Her mother, I have to take care of her mother. That's my responsibility. These are and so when I say advance and mature and grow and when I said earlier, hey, get with a man, this is what I'm speaking of. A man does what's necessary to take care of his family. That's a man. A man doesn't complain. He doesn't make excuses. A man is probably not as appreciated sometimes. You ain't gonna hear they talk. This is all a part of being a man. And you take that and and you keep pushing. That's a man. There's responsibilities. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying all this to say, but it takes time to get to that point to understand I'm a man. I got to do what men do.
And it's not playing video games and
there it is.
Being on social media all day.
There it is.
Because I also
my wife has to text me, I sent you something on Instagram. Because I'm not, she knows. I got like
it'd be nothing. It'd be like
no
stuff.
No, but I mean but I need to pay attention. Really but still, I need to pay attention. But I'm saying all that to say I have special times, and you know that I'm in the morning and I'm when I get home, like late. Because other than that, I'm busy. I'm doing other things, being productive. I don't be on social media like that. So you have to tell me, hey bro, I sent you something, or right? And I'm saying that to say, guys, find your purpose, get to that point, right? Put time and energy into bettering yourself and working towards that thing and not being on social media. Social media rots the brain. It also tells the algorithm how to control you. Mm-hmm. The things you like, if you notice, like me, I'm in pure business liking. Algorithm. Now, if I go to the Discover page, they'll have a girl shaking her ass, and because it's Instagram, and that's what dancers do, right? But it's like one little square of a girl shaking her ass, and all the rest of them are like, did you see this?
Like mine Did you see this? Hella spiritual stuff,
right? So you're teaching, right? Those habits. You're teaching that algorithm how to treat you,
right?
So you have to, the energy you put out, they're gonna put that back into you. So if you step away from looking at the girls and shaking their butt and rappers talking about shooting and killing each other, and if you get away from that, and the blogs and the gossip, bochincha, as we say, if you get away from that stuff, then you'll start to discover social media actually can be a very positive place with limits. That you can find people, your tribe, they say, right? Of people that are doing the things that you want to,
or that they're interested in. Well.
Like you got a whole tribe of people that are spiritual. Like on your, I TikTok no more. On your, but you did. It was just nothing but spiritual stuff. And that's okay, because that's what she wants to focus on.
Yeah.
Mine's just business. That's what I want to focus on. So find something else to focus on other than detrimental things as a man. As a woman, support your man. Don't nag him. And if he's on some BS, call him out on that BS, man. Don't let him, you know what I'm saying?
For a woman, I would say worry about yourself. Worry about your heart, worry about your interests, worry about working, and improving yourself. Because if you're constantly worrying about what he's doing,
oh God,
it's going to lead to something bad. It's going to lead to separation. It's going to lead to arguments. It's never going to be positive.
And here's the thing. If he a good man, he ain't doing nothing. He probably working.
Yeah.
He ain't got his head up your butt because he probably trying to figure out how to pay your bills. What? Yeah, he probably working. That's a good man. I'm not talking about you deviants and you dudes out there playing PlayStation 24/7, smoking weed, don't have a job, chasing your girl's best friends. You know the type. The trifling dudes. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a good man. A good man is probably working. He probably ain't doing. What were you doing? I was going up this tank to get this sample to do the, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was working. On a good man's mind, even with his social media, on a good man's mind, the majority of the time, it ain't sex. It's not another woman. He probably investigating some stuff. Like, and just my group, like the guys that I like, engineer people, different people, right? It's not that. Like, it's business. It's other stuff that you're trying to figure out. Like, oh, how can I make money off this? Dang, I saw this. Let me research this and do this. You'd be bored if you take my phone. You're gonna see a whole bunch of business.
I haven't looked at your phone in God knows how long.
You're gonna be
and
bored.
When we were younger, I did used to look at his phone. I don't even want to talk about the stuff I found.
All right. Oh, back then, man, look.
Yo,
first 2-3 years, you go searching.
There was this one time I cracked your phone, your password.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only am I intelligent, my intuition is crazy. And it was my birthday. He put my birthday as his code.
Did I?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yes. I was like, what the hell?
That's weird.
But that was easy to break.
That's freaking weird.
But that was super early in our...
That's
that was
so
like
weird.
2012. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it happens, but...
You gotta mature past that stuff.
You do. You do.
Man, if you're 5, 6 years, 7 years in and you still, y'all ain't gonna work. Just cut it off. It's not.
I feel like
it's not gonna work.
I don't care what anybody say, and some people probably feel a sort of way if I say this, but when your relationship was based off of something from the beginning, whether it was based off of just having sex or based off the fact that you had a kid together.
People-based relationships are just having sex.
Yeah. Because there's lust. There's this thing called lust, and they don't know that lust is not love.
That's lame.
Our relationship was based off of us.
Yeah.
It wasn't even based off of sex.
I go do whatever.
It wasn't. It was based off of this man gets me and I get him.
Just want to hang out, be together. That's weird.
Yeah. So
the kid thing, yeah, of course I know that, but I didn't know people just be with the other person just to have sex.
Well, because they think that they're in love, but they don't understand what lust is.
Wow.
So they're jealous, they're territorial, they're controlling because they love that sex life.
Got it.
Keep it PG.
Mm-hmm. I had no idea.
People be having issues.
Learn something new today.
They need to work on themselves. And if you want so bad, I'm telling you this before we, conclude our session, you cannot change a man. You can't change a person at all. And I'm being super serious. I'm speaking to the women. You cannot change a man. That is not your job.
You can try, but it will not happen. It will not work.
You could help with his day-to-day life. You can inspire him in ways that are beneficial.
Leading him in the direction of changing,
but you cannot change them. You can't think that, because you guys have a child together, things need to work out. Because no, I'm sorry. And sometimes the child
they don't need to work out.
Is better off having parents that are not together.
Co-parenting, yes. Sometimes it doesn't need to work out.
Healthy relationships. If that means that you guys should not be together, then let that be. And that's what it's going to be. Because if this was not a healthy relationship, best believe we'd not be together. We're not perfect, yet we care about what we have. Because yes, we have a child together, but before we had our child, it was just us. So our relationship, us, comes first always. And we grew to have this communication that I'm super proud of.
It takes time.
Super proud.
You got to put in effort.
Yeah.
So put in effort.
It does. So work on your traumas. Because if you don't work on yourself, you definitely can't work,
Hurt people.
Yeah, and you can't work on your relationships if you have traumas. You can't be clingy to somebody.
Ugh. That's sick.
You can't expect this person to be at your feet 24/7.
That's sick, man.
Love yourself first. Don't make that your year, your goal, to love yourself first. Pour more into yourself.
Pour more into yourself.
Than slaving at the kitchen for somebody that's very able to do for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's a partnership, but at the same time, if it's not a helpful partnership, then it means nothing.
Agreed.
So, you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
It's a good topic today. Hopefully, I got some. We was throwing gems out today, man.
No, seriously. We conclude this episode 9.
I can't
believe we're at episode 9. I'm so proud of us.
Get to 10.
Huh?
You get to 10.
Yeah. Is that our last?
Because we said that was our goal.
Okay. Yeah. Especially because next month we're going to have a few things happening and stuff like that. So let's start fresh after our episode 10, but we'll get to that
next episode.
Next episode. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the comments. Any topics you guys are interested in or need any type of form of advice, you got me and Jeremiah. You can find me at my platform, Jsolehealing, and on Facebook, Jamelisse Ramirez.
You can find me on Instagram at Rico Ramirez 86. Everywhere else is Jeremiah Ramirez.
Yeah. So thank you once again. This is Scale Journey. We got to come up with some type of handshake.
Oh man, this woman.
Love y'all. Thank you.
Bye guys.